Namaskar, I'm Suruchi Das and you're watching Ritam News. The Indian Constitution, the nation's supreme law, has been the bedrock of Indian democracy since January 26, 1950, defining citizens' rights and responsibilities. Interestingly, the words socialist and secular weren't part of this historic document when it was first crafted. These words only appeared in 1976, inserted into the Preamble by the Indira Gandhi government during the 42nd Constitutional Amendment, a move that has sparked controversies from time to time. The latest dispute around these terms erupted ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections when the opposition accused the Modi government of excluding socialist and secular from the constitution's copy presented at the inauguration of the new parliament building. No concrete evidence accompanied these accusations, but the controversy gained steam, fueling heated debate and becoming a major election issue. Adding fuel to the debate, former Rajya Sabha member Subramanian Swamy, along with advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain and Ashwini Upadhyay, recently petitioned the Supreme Court to remove the words socialist and secular from the preamble. During the hearing, a bench led by Justice Sanjeev Khanna and Justice Sanjay Kumar emphasized that the secularism has long been a core part of the Constitution's basic framework. Equality and fraternity, they noted, are strongly indicative of secularism as a fundamental principle. As for socialist, Justice Khanna observed its diverse interpretations, cautioning against a purely Western understanding. Instead, he proposed that socialism could represent equal opportunities and fair resource distribution. The bench then questioned the petitioners on whether they still desired India to remain a secular state. Swamy argued that the preamble, as it was declared on November 26, 1949, was altered arbitrarily when new terms were added. He contended that it is misleading to assume that Indians had agreed upon establishing a socialist and secular republic back then. The court is scheduled to examine the matter further on November 18th. This development raises a deeper question. Did the original drafters of the Constitution intentionally leave out these terms? And if so, why did the Indira Gandhi government decide to add them? The 42nd Amendment, passed during the emergency, inserted socialist and secular into the preamble. Many believed that this amendment declared India a socialist state with equitable resource distribution and affirmed it as a secular nation, devoid of an official religion and respectful of all faiths. Yet, the questions linger. Should these terms have been there from the beginning? Why didn't Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his team initially include them? Was there a specific motive behind the Indira Gandhi government's decision to add these terms? Adding another layer to the controversy, certain declassified CIA documents from the time suggest that Indira Gandhi government may have been influenced by the Soviet Union in adding socialist to the preamble. This claim sparked a broader discussion on India's foreign policy during that era, as the Soviet Union was a close ally of India and there were allegations that Indira Gandhi's policies bore Soviet influence. Did the Constitution original authors truly intend to leave these words out? And if so, why? Furthermore, there's a question of whether secularism applies uniformly across all communities. The Indian Constitution grants equal rights and duties to all citizens, but the practical application of secular principles can be complex. Some argue that Hinduism, with its natural tolerance and pluralism, places an additional burden on the Hindu community to uphold secularism. Meanwhile, certain elements within Muslim and Christian communities have sometimes been observed engaging in practices seen as contrary to secular ideal. This raises a compelling question. Should the responsibility of upholding secularism rest solely on the Hindu community? Today, some thinkers and political leaders are revisiting whether socialist and secular should be removed from the preamble, arguing that the terms were not initially included by the Constitution's framers and may not accurately reflect India's societal and political realities. The Constitution of India remains a living document, evolving through amendments, but the inclusion of socialist and secular and the ongoing debate surrounding them underscores a deep ideological struggle around India's social, religious, and political framework. Whether these words belong in the Constitution is a significant question. Yet, whatever the outcome, it is essential that the discussion is open and constructive, ensuring that India's diversity and Constitution's core spirit are preserved. Jai Hind.